Joe here, he just recently cut that out. He just recently was diagnosed with both gout, which the gout is under control now.
Yeah, that was around Christmas.
And he's not getting to eat quite as much red meat as he used to. He doesn't like that, but he does okay. He gets his chicken. He likes chicken.
Yeah.
But then there's the
I like pork.
he likes pork. They said some pork we can have, which is, it's kind of the other white meat.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. There's a lot of the pork that is not really a bloody red meat kind of thing. But anyway. But then there's the thing with the chicken is he's also been diagnosed as diabetic, type 2, which is a very recent development.
My mom had it. My two older brothers have it. I was hoping I'd skip that generation or skip it, but it didn't work out that way. So
Yeah,
now
well, type 2 is an acquired, so I'm not quite sure why it happened that way, but anyway.
my A1C was too high, so they put me on medication for it. And because of that, I'm having to change my diet. Not so many sweets. Buying
A
sugar-free.
lot fewer carbs.
Buying sugar-free candy, and sugar-free syrup, sugar-free cake mix, and sugar-free frosting mix for it. And sugar-free, well, I gotta watch carbs too.
Yeah, and that's why the problem with fried chicken. Because the coating.
Breading's got a lot of carbs.
But we have a recipe that we've been using for years for barbecue chicken, which we just use chicken breast. There's no breading or anything. You just
I just boil it, and then
you keep the broth.
I keep some of the broth, and I put barbecue sauce in it, and let it cook for a while.
The kids call it grandma's chicken. And they love it.
No, it's just, they got something called Smart Carb ice cream. Has a little different taste to it, or texture to it. It's a matter of just getting used to it, I think. It's not as creamy as other ice cream.
Well, and he brought home some oatmeal cookies that have
Sugar-free oatmeal cookies.
Yeah, and if it wasn't for the little bit of spice that's in there,
They're dry.
they are dry, but the flavor with that little bit of spice makes them palatable.
Yeah.
But
I thought I'd try them. But they make sugar-free chocolate pudding, sugar-free
we had some,
Jello,
that wasn't bad.
sugar-free Jello, and then I can have fruits, peaches, pears, oranges, apples.
Just not pineapple, or
I can have strawberries. I like
Yes.
some strawberries.
you can have your strawberries. Can't have watermelon though.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to have watermelon
But doggone it.
because of the sweetness of it.
Yeah, well, watermelon is a lot of sugar.
Yeah.
And bananas too. Those are a lot of sugar.
But I did find some syrup for pancakes that's sugar-free. I'll use the sugar-free stuff for myself because of diabetes.
Well, I'm going to try and follow a lot of your diet because I can sure use losing this weight. It wouldn't hurt me at all.
And I hope I lose some weight. I would like to.
These are sugar-free.
Sugar-free.
And that's one good saving grace because they are good.
I bought those when I quit smoking. I told my dentist or the technician that cleans your teeth, I said I quit smoking. Something that helps, or I'm trying to quit smoking. The thing that helps is if I eat Tic Tac or peppermint. She says, well, just make sure it's sugar-free. Otherwise, it can ruin your teeth. And being a dentist, dentist helper, they're going to say that. Buy the sugar-free stuff so it's not so hard on your teeth. Cause cavities. So that's when I started buying them.
Yeah.
They're not peppermint, they're a mint.
Yeah, more like a
Wintergreen,
wintergreen, that's it.
wintergreen mint. But they just take, I like peppermint instead, but they don't make a sugar-free peppermint. So,
I wonder why.
yeah, I don't know. At least I haven't found any.
Well, peppermint is a kind of a stronger flavor, but
But these work.
yeah.
I couldn't find any Tic Tacs that were sugar-free. They probably do make them, but I just didn't find any or see any. So. But anyway, it's just a matter of I got to change my diet.
Yep. And he has to change so much all at once. We're trying to get into it kind of gradually. I mean, yeah, there's some stuff that we've been pretty drastic on, but he's
I can eat peanuts. I can
yes,
have those.
and he likes his peanuts. He can have almonds and peanuts. I've done quite a bit of research online. I am a former nurse. I've dealt with diabetes a lot in patients. It's been a while, but the symptoms are still the same.
But I called my brother. He's in a assisted living place. He's got diabetes. My two older brothers do, but one of them lives in assisted living. And I called him, told him I was coming up to get groceries. Wanted to know if there's anything he needed. He says, "Well, do you care if I come out and go grocery shopping with you? That way I can get out of the place." Because he sits in a room, you know,
All day.
like a motel room, all day long, every day. This is his chance to get out, and walk around, and just do some shopping, because that's what he wanted to do some shopping. So I said, "Yeah, hell, I'll pick you up and we'll go." Gave me some advice on some of the stuff I could buy that was, you know, for diabetics. So it's a learning process too, but
Yes, it is. But we've looked up what kind of fruit, and you get to have your pears.
yep, I like pears.
He likes pears, but and apples.
Yeah.
But one thing that we're waiting for, we're waiting to hear both. Well, you have to ask Kelsey down there at our practitioner, and then find out from the insurance what is the best monitor
Yeah.
for him.
Well, I have a follow-up appointment in April, so I suppose they're going to test my A1C again and let me know, and then I can talk to her about that, about getting
Yeah.
signed up for some kind of a monitor. That way I can keep track of it.
Yeah, there's
My brother has something called a Dexcom G7.
yeah.
It's a thing that sticks into your arm. You've probably seen them on TV, but you leave it on for 10 days. You switch it every 10 days. And you got a monitor that it reads off of somehow.
Yeah.
So that's what he's got.
Yes, we are watching his diet. We've been doing a lot of learning about the type 2 diabetes and the things to avoid, the things that are permissible. It's right now, he's just been diagnosed, and so we're watching it, but we realize if you go really strict on a diet right away, you're not going to last.
Now I just have to watch my potato intake. Rice is very iffy.
Yeah, rice isn't good.
My brother said, you know, if I cut it back to maybe twice a week, I'm okay. But not to have it every day or something.
We don't have rice that much anywhere.
No.
You don't.
I got a box of rice-a-roni, but I haven't used it yet.
Yeah.
Maybe one of these nights I'll fix it and get rid of it. That way we don't have to see it anymore.
I don't mind it as long as it's got some corn in it to sweeten it. And you have to look into what kind. There's different kinds of carbs too. So there's just a lot to look through. And I think the main thing is not so much to look for how many carbs or how many calories, but look at what is recommended, you know, as far as items. And there's some things you're going to look at calories and how much sugar content, but I think it's easier just like if he wants potatoes, half a potato instead of a whole big potato,
Yeah.
eat a half of a potato.
My brother said it's also proportions. You gotta
Yeah.
watch your portions too. But 2 weeks ago, when they told me I was going to go on a medication for it, it not only angered me, it worried me, it depressed me, because I saw what happened to my mom. She went
Yes.
blind from it. Her kidneys went bad from it. I've heard of guys having their toes cut off. It's just, I thought of all the worst things that can happen to a person.
Well, with depression, that's what you do. But
But I realized, I knew I would probably get it eventually. I was hoping I wouldn't. Sometimes stuff like that skips a generation, but it didn't work, so I just got to deal with it. We'll be okay. Just got to change things.
But, well, found out that our daughter's pre-diabetic.
Yeah.
I don't like that. But I don't know how they're doing on their portions and stuff. But we'll have a talk about it sometime. Anyway, but they've been on that her and her husband both have been on that medication for a while.
Now my
But-
older brother Dave, he takes the same medication I do, but he also takes insulin shots, and so does my oldest brother. I know he takes insulin shots, but I don't know if he's on that medication or not. But I found out from my aunt that my uncle, who passed away a couple of years ago, he was diabetic, and he took the same medication I'm on, but he never took shots. I didn't know he was diabetic. So.
A type 2 diabetes, I think like a lot of them, they kind of, there's a range as far as your readings go, but I think there's different stages or different levels of just how diabetic you are.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, they're diabetic, but and you can't go around it but it's per person. You got to go for each person and what it's like for them. Now, his mom had been diabetic since she was young.
Yeah.
She was not type 1 from what I understand, but she was type 2, which is an acquired diabetes. But he probably did have a tendency for it, because he's always loved sweets, but he hasn't been crazy with it. Yeah, I understand when he says, the depression and the be worried about stuff, because there's times when I wonder if I'm starting to show signs of
Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's. I didn't even want to say the word.
Alzheimer's disease.
I call it old timers, but that covers my forgetfulness, but I've always been forgetful. But yeah, forgetting words, that kind of stuff. But no, I don't think I am anywhere near Alzheimer's yet. But my grandmother, my maternal grandmother, and my mom's sister and my mother all had Alzheimer's.
I think your mom's brother did too.
Uncle Paul? Did he? Maybe he did.
I'm not sure.
The thing of it is, just keep yourself healthy as much as you can, and some of these things you're not going to avoid. And when you find out, then you need to start a plan and start living as much as you can by that plan. But it's like they say when you're going on a diet to lose weight. If you go on a real strict diet right away, it's not going to last. And you may go on one of these diets where you drop weight real fast, and then you start gaining it all back. So there's things about moderation. You gotta be smart about it. So I am watching him, but I am watching him at I'm watching his behavior more than anything. I do know what low blood sugar looks like, and I do know what high blood sugar looks like. So
No, I'm trying to not go back for seconds on meals. Try and make it
Yeah.
one plate full.
That is a good thing for him because he liked eating his meals and
Especially if it's potatoes and gravy or something.
oh yeah.
Or spaghetti or hamburgers.
Yeah. Yep, that's my Joe, but we love him,
I
don't
like
we?
taters and gravy.
Well, he can have about half as much as he's, and then we'll see what the next deal is, and
I'd eat more leftovers. Eat them next day or something.
yeah. We're used to eating meals for 2 days in a row. That's, when kids leave, you still make the bigger meal, but then you eat it in 2 days.
I mean, you buy a can of tomato juice, unless you get a jar where you can open up and just use what you want. But to open up a can of tomato juice, you got to make something big enough to make
Absorb it.
worthwhile. Like chili or goulash or something.
Yes. Oh,
I
but
got-
if you can find whole wheat pasta, you're going to be better off.
They do make a carb smart pasta. It's just I haven't found it yet.
Yeah.
But there again, you got to watch your portions.
Mm-hmm.
You can have it a couple times a week. Just don't overdo it.
Yeah. One serving. Okay. Well, we love you. Take care of yourselves. And we will see you again.
15 more days. It'll be 1 year since I quit smoking.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
We love you. Good night.
Good night.